Afternoon, didn't everybody, but he's kind of set the tone for the Bills offense with a big reception in that first quarter on a bomb, and he beat a pretty tough guy to beat, Rod Woodson, at least self-proclaimed, but he is a tough guy to beat. And here we see the play, James.
Well, he was playing me to run it out, and I made a move on him, and you know, Jim put the ball right on the money, and it was a play that we had practiced and thought that would work going into the football game, and it did work.
Had to adjust on it a little bit. Was the wind a factor there or anything, or you just kind of looked her in there and said thank
Jim
you?
just threw it over my left shoulder instead of the right, and we had to play later on in the football game, and he just led me a little bit too much on that when he had some pressure in his face. But you know, we played really well offensively today, and a lot of the credit I think has to go to the offensive line, because if you think back in the ball game, as many times as we threw the ball, our quarterback was not picking himself up off the turf.
Very seldom. I think he got sacked once or twice, if that, but you're right. He had plenty of time back there, but you guys took advantage of it. The Steelers' defense is one. This is no slack bunch out there. This is a very good outfit.
Well, I really believe that we could play them 10 additional times and maybe not score 3 touchdowns against them. They are a very good team. I'm pretty sure that we will play them again in January, and that they will make some adjustments in between now and then. So, you know, it'll be another good matchup when we play them.
Well, I suppose to be objective about it, the first time you look at the no-huddle, now you can look at it all you want on film, being on the field and facing it, especially the way you guys execute it, has to be a little different.
Definitely, and what they will do, they'll think of the best combination of personnel that they can go with. It was a very warm day, and I think it was a tough day for defensive linemen, because they're pass rushing every down, and that's tough. And you have to credit our offensive linemen with their stamina and their being able to play a complete game. They were shoveling in their front 7 almost every other series, and our linemen stayed on the field the whole game. And you're talking about 300-pound guys, and their conditioning...
About 280 now.
Their conditioning is a credit to how hard they work during the week.
That's for sure, and they probably lost some. But, you know, again, that no-huddle, it's got to be difficult for you guys, too, especially wide receivers. You go deep, and then you come right back and line up again.
Yeah, we were a little tired, but the one thing that motivates you when you look across the line, and you know that guy still has to match up with you every play, and, you know, they're chasing down runs and chasing people to the other side of the football field. They are maybe the most hustling defense in the NFL, and I thought they played well today. We came up with some big plays, and I'm pretty sure everybody in our offense is surprised that we were able to score this many points against them.
James, and congratulations on moving into 5th place all time. Boy, I'm telling you, it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
James Lofton, okay, and we're going to go right to, we've got Walt Corey here. Walt, step in. You know, normally, Walt, the defensive coordinator, now normally when you know, a team scores 34 points on you, you say, well, why are you talking to the defensive coordinator? But I think in all honesty, 10 of the points came directly from turnovers on the interceptions. One was returned for the 6th, and you held them to a field goal the second time. But you had kind of an innovative approach to this game, and I thought it was very effective. You started with 5 linebackers and pretty much stayed with it.
Well, you know, we talked about it at the beginning of the week, and we added in our notebook last year. We put it in with Bruce, and then since Bruce wasn't around to play it, Biscuit was the next man, and kind of worked.
Well, now how would that work with Bruce in there? I mean, would he line up in a stand-up kind of a stance?
Be exactly the same, exactly the same thing. Like I say, it's what we call the sick 'em. You know, we just turn that man free. He's just free to roam and make plays and make things happen. And you know, like I say, you hope it works, and you know, how long it's going to work, it's hard to say, but it worked today.
Well, it's certainly, especially early, because they came out, the obvious thing everybody in the ballpark knew they wanted to do was establish the run, and you were able to stuff that or certainly slow it down for a while. In fact, the Bills would score so quickly that probably if you weren't on the field so soon, it might have worked longer.
Well, you know, I think, you know, if I had to play against this type of offense, I would try to establish a running game too, because again, you have to keep our offense off the field, and you have to establish the run to eat up the clock. And so we understand what the opponents are trying to do. And you know, the first couple series in the first half, we played pretty good, solid defense with that with a new scheme, and we were able to get off the field in a 1-2-3 series, and maybe just a couple plays over that. But you know, like I say, this could be a year of decisions. You know, I don't know if you're going to find too many knockouts by this defense, because we're losing some good people when we lose Jeff Wright and Bruce Smith. But you know, whoever has to play has to pick it up.
All right, Walt, nice job. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay.
And again, we don't know, as a matter of fact, at this point, whether Bruce Smith will be ready for the Jets next week. The Bills are hopeful that he will be, but we'll have to wait and see. Wes?
Okay, Ed, thank you. Want to give you the final score from Philadelphia. The Phoenix Cardinals did beat the Philadelphia Eagles 26-10 is the final score, and Phoenix, who knocked off the Rams last week, is 2-0 right now. Jamie, Thurman Thomas hurt an ankle in the first series from scrimmage today on this particular play right here.
Yeah, Thurman, you see he twists it right there. The guy has him by the ankle, and you know, something like that hurt. It's pretty painful when it first happens, but you know, I'm sure they went in and x-rayed it and found out it was negative, and Thurman walked it off and felt he could go back in there and contribute, and he, you know, he had a super day. He went back in there, shook it off, and played great, tremendous the rest of the day.
Went on to run over 100 yards once again, which brings up another question. The new turf out at the stadium, it's pretty sticky, it bites. What do the guys feel about that?
Well, it is. It's very good turf. It has good padding, and when you have good padding, your feet tend to grip a little better, and especially wearing turf shoes out there. On a dry day like today, a lot of guys would prefer to wear tennis shoes because you grip just enough, but not enough where, you know, it may cause added injury.
Now, this is going to promote some turf-type injuries. What do you do about it?
Well, there's not a lot you can do. You can adjust your shoe type, and that's about it. And you do get used to the way the turf grabs, and you know, you make adjustments from there. Like I said, a lot of guys will wear tennis shoes, and some guys won't have a problem with it, some will. So they just have to go with it accordingly.
Quickly, can a running back get the traction he needs with tennis shoes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It definitely, on a turf like that, if you wear the proper tennis shoes, you can definitely get enough traction.
Okay, Jim Kelly now conducting his post-game press conference. We're going to join the Bills quarterback live right now.
Going into this game, I don't know, everybody says how usually people are physically drained. I'm mentally drained right now. It's get on the field, and it was like one of those things where you had to say, what play can we run now? As you can hear, Parker and Mitch are leaving. But I'm totally mentally drained because I get to the huddle, every once in a while I go, Kent, what play now should we run? Kent says, I don't know. Because we ran so many variations of our plays, and on the one interception, I guess you throw the ball enough, you're going to have one picked, and everybody says, how many touchdowns do you have? I said 7, 6 to us and 1 to them. But it's something when everybody pulls together, and I'll tell you what, I think we kept everybody on the edge of their seats, so a little bit too exciting even for me.
Jim, is this to be expected just every week? I mean, you
No.
and just, you know, break the score?
Sounds good from our side, but I don't want to see it from the other side. I like to beat a team 51-0 if we can, but we had all the respect in the world for the Steelers, and going into this game, I studied the film like I never studied before because they gave so many different looks, and they had so many great athletes on that side of the ball. And talking to Carlton Bailey, he said one of his friends or one of his college buddies played on the other side of the ball, said that they thought they were going to shut our passing game down. And he said it just looked like we had exactly what we were supposed to go into this game. We were going to shut the game down. I guess it goes to show what type of receivers we did have. But overall execution, like I said before, it's not the system that works, it's the execution. But with Beebe, after I threw him the first 2, I said, Beebe, you owe me 2 more. Don't forget we got 4 touchdown passes, and I can't believe it happened.
Jim, did you feel you had a real good line on their secondary or pass coverage schemes going in?
Oh, we knew going into the game there were certain things we could do, but we knew that there are athletes on the other side of football like Woodson and Johnson. Those people can cover very, very good. It's just a matter of execution, getting the right play at the right time, and they shut us down a couple of times. We came up with some big plays, and we just got to credit our side of the ball. We executed very well.
Jim, when you first got here, you gave a press conference and indicated that Pittsburgh was one of your teams that you dreamt about as a kid. How does it feel knowing that you were able to come back and really lay it on them?
Well, I don't know if we laid it on them. They hung in there right till the end, and it's a game that, you know, every time we play against Pittsburgh, it's a little special to me because, you know, we come from East Brady, about an hour and a half outside Pittsburgh, growing up loving the Steelers, watching them win their Super Bowl days, saying maybe one of these days I'll play for them. Well, I'm playing against them now, and I've yet to play in Three River Stadium with the Buffalo Bills, but heck, as long as they keep coming here, I'm going to have some fun. And this is a team that we feel that we might meet down the road in the playoffs because we know what type of defense they do have, and our offense can only get better, so it's a team that we really respect.
What does it say for...
Clearly, the Bills still respect the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jim Kelly with 6 touchdown passes. The defense got in on the scoring act, too, and Ed Kilgore standing by live with Nate Odoms. Ed?
That's right. I'm here with a guy that when you call him a thief, it's a positive note, and that's Nate Odoms, who did it last year against the Raiders, and you came up with another one this afternoon, Nate. Maybe you can describe what, in fact, you were so quick on this one, it even fooled the officials for a while.
Yeah, well, the ball was deflected, so it was deflected right in my arms, and my first instinct was to run to the end zone. And like I said this time last year, once I get a step on somebody, I don't think nobody can catch me. So.
Well, that was sure the case that time. Did you ever hear a whistle? Obviously, it must not have blown, or they would have, I'm sure the officials would have said the ball's down here, but it was just sort of like you said, hey, until somebody tells me to stop, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, well, as a defensive player, I think the coaches, they drill into you. If you you don't hit a whistle, keep playing. So that was a situation where I didn't hear it. So my first, like I say, my first thing was to get to the end zone and then, you know, figure it out after that.
Let them sort it out.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly, James Lofton both made the comment, and a couple other guys have said the same thing, that they have the feeling they might be seeing Pittsburgh down the road maybe in January. Do you feel like they were that tough a ball club, Nate?
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh is a very tough physical ball club. They hit you real well defensively, and offensively they give you a lot of trouble with the different formations and different people. So that's a team that the AFC Central really have to reckon with, and I think everybody really realized that, too, though.
All right. Congratulations on another good job today, Nate.
Thank you.
All right. And Nate will be trying to get him next week against the Jets at the Meadowlands. Back to you, Wes.
Okay, Ed, thank you. Big play guy there, Nate Odoms. We're going to take a commercial break. Be right back.
The Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on now. The Bills are making it happen now.
For the latest information on Santangelo's phase-by-phase hair replacement, contact Santangelo Hair Editions at 1-800-627-4664.
What is refreshing? It's the taste. The taste that could only come from a cold blue light right out of the ice. Now that's refreshing.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Across town, across the country, wherever your trail leads, you know Citgo quality will always keep you well on your way.
Till we meet again.
The art of listening is very important. You have to listen. If you don't listen, you're going to miss part of the story. Obviously, you want to get certain responses, so then maybe you have to change the question a little bit so that you're sensitive to their feelings, but you get what you want as well. The soup kitchen story was very difficult. He doesn't know what's going to happen next. You know, I thought that was the story.
All right, time to check the final results of the Pepsi Telepoll for this afternoon. And, Jamie, you want to make the call here?
It's a close one between Jim Kelly and Don Beebe.
You knew it would be.
Yeah, but Beebe gets the edge by, say, 7% there.
All right, 38% for Beebs. Jim Kelly, 6 touchdown passes, 31%. Good game by Cornelius Bennett again. The sick'em back, as Walt Corey called him, and Andre Reed with 11% and over 100 yards of reception yardage once again. Right now, we're going to go back out to Ed Kilgore and Mike DeGeorge at the stadium for some final viewpoints there. Guys?
That's right, Wes. And, hey, Wes, thank Jamie for us, too. That was awful nice of him to stop by, and that's good news about the injury. It looks like maybe he'll be seeing some football this season for the Bills. A couple notes, I suppose, to worry about, although the Bills are 2-0 and have scored a lot of points. In fact, the combined total of points today was an all-time record for a Bills football game. The injuries, Thurman Thomas. And, Mike, you have the latest on Thurman.
Yeah, Thurman has a pulled groin injury, and Marv Levy said that he was advised to take him out of the football game. He also suffered an ankle injury that was heavily taped as he went into the locker room. He was limping a little bit, but I think the groin, I think, is the concern there. That can be a nagging injury. John Davis said that he stretched some ligaments in his hands, but he said no surgery was needed or anything like that. He thought he'd be fine.
Well, those offensive linemen are tough. He'll wrap that thing up, and he'll be fine. Now, there was a kind of a downer, and this is something the Bills are going to have to certainly work on, and I'm sure Bruce DeHaven will be working on that. And we refer to the special teams because they were giving up some chunks on kickoff return coverage, and that put the Bills' defense in some tough spots.
Well, Bruce DeHaven was walking out of the locker room, and I caught him real quickly. I said, Bruce, I said, are you concerned about the special teams? And he said, Mike, heck yes. He said, we got some problems there.
All right, on the plus side, Scott Norwood did make a 50-yard field goal, and that brought a big cheer from the 80,000 plus here at Ridge Stadium. So the Bills win it 52-34. They're now 2-0. They meet the Jets next week, and we thank you for joining us, and that does it for the Goal to Go post-game show. We'll see you.
Okay, Ed, thank you. 52-34 again. Our thanks to Jimmy Mueller. He'll be back with us for the rest of the year on Goal to Go. More to come tonight at 6 and 11 on Channel 2 News, Sports Extra at 11:30. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye, everybody.
The Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on now. The Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shout it right now, baby. Come on, come on. Come on and shout. Yeah. Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move now. The Bills are happening now. They're making it happen now. We've got the spirit, a lot of spirit, yeah. We've got the spirit. Just watch it happen now. Hey.
Goal to Go, the post-game show, is brought to you by Labatt's Blue, Canada's #1 beer, and by WBEN Sports Radio 930, and by True Value. Got a tough job to do? You can do it with True Value hardware stores.